Welcome! Today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to deconstruct this elegant system of human creation, and we're going to do it by looking at a single, incredibly dense verse. You can think of it like a complete blueprint for our existence, all packed into one powerful statement.
So that brings us to the big question, right? How can one sentence, just one sentence, possibly describe a complete creation pipeline? A process that takes us from, literal dust all the way to our individual destiny. That's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
And here it is. This is the sentence from our source material that lays it all out. It's a multi-layered process, see? It starts with our physical origin, moves through how we're structured, how life is governed, and all the way to how it's all managed. So, let's unpack this layer by layer.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the origin layer. The verse begins right at the very start, with our fundamental material. I mean, what are we actually made of? Well, the text points us straight to the earth itself.
The specific term used here is turab, which basically means earth matter. The best way to think about it is like our universal hardware. It's the physical stuff, the raw material that every single human body is built from. It's the foundation. And then the verse does something fascinating. It pivots. It shifts from that universal material, the turab, to the very specific beginning of each individual person, the nutfa. This is described as a tiny drop or a seed. It's the starting point for you, for me, for every unique human instance.
So you can see the flow in this first stage, right? It's a really clear, logical progression. We go from the general, the universal earth matter, to the very particular, a specific encoded seed for each individual life.
Okay, so we've got our origin figured out. But after that, the text moves on to the fundamental structure of human existence. This isn't just about us as individuals anymore. It's about how we're organized as a whole species.
And the key concept here is azwaj, or pairing. Now, this is so much bigger than just marriage. Think of it as a broad design principle. Sure, it includes male and female, but it also points to this idea of counterparts, of complementary sides, this dual structure that creates balance and allows for continuation.
Now, this is a really important point to get right. The source material is very clear here. It's super easy to misinterpret this on a purely biological level, right? To think, oh, the egg is the pair of the sperm. But that's not what the text is getting at. It's operating on a much higher level. It's saying that humanity, as a species, is fundamentally designed and configured as paired beings.
Okay, so we've covered the origin and the structure. Now the verse shifts gears again. We're moving out of the build phase, if you will, and into what you could almost call the runtime governance, the ongoing active management of life and time. And this part of the verse, it really zooms in on these critical biological events: conception, pregnancy, birth. The text frames them not as random biological accidents, but as specific events that happen under divine knowledge.
So the huge takeaway here is this idea of order. From the perspective of this verse, these fundamental, life-defining moments aren't chaotic or uncontrolled. They're actually managed processes that are happening inside a much larger, known and governed system.
And the scope of this governance just keeps expanding. It's not just about single events like when you're conceived or when you're born. The text then introduces what our source calls a ledger layer. The entire span of a life, all its changes, is described as being recorded in a book.
So we've walked through the origin, the structure, and the runtime governance. Now for the really cool part. Let's put all the pieces together and see the complete, grand design that this single verse is describing. And here it is. You can see the full architecture, the beautiful, logical flow. You start with the origin layer, from earth matter to an individual seed. Then the structure layer, where we're organized as pairs. After that, the event layer, governing those key biological moments, followed by the time layer, which records the entire lifespan. And the whole thing is wrapped up in one final powerful control statement.
And this is that final statement. After laying out this incredibly complex, multi-layered system, a system that goes from cosmic dust to the intricate details of a single human life, the verse concludes with this: for the Creator, managing this entire thing is effortless, easy. So, I'll leave you with this final thought, which really gets to the heart of what we've just unpacked. What does it truly mean when a system of such profound biological, existential complexity is framed as being fundamentally simple to its designer? That's a powerful idea to sit with.